Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Don Lucha channel. I am back here today with another special guest for another special video that's near and dear to my heart. We're running back the OG content. Ladies and gentlemen, one of the things that got me started in the game is predictions videos, right? Predictions videos for all of wrestling, whether it be WWE, AEW, all of that. And who better to have with me than the guy that was with me for the first video that I had, that was with me for like the 10th video that I had, that was a part of almost every damn Lucha Mania that I've done, who is actually the current reigning Lucha Mania world champion, Jack. Welcome back, brother. How you doing?
We are doing fantastic. I don't know what days these videos are getting released on, but if you think I'm wearing the same clothes, no, I'm not. Yes, I'm still sick. I don't know when you guys are going to be seeing this, but I'm doing swell, doing just as good, if not better than I was in the last video you watched. So,
yes, sir. We are filming this one right after our 2026 predictions video. So if you see us wearing the same thing, don't worry. We ain't dirty. It's not like we don't shower. No. We're just filming these things back to back. So you know what? We can enjoy our holiday time with our families and all that, without having to worry about recording content and all that. But you know what? Let's get to it, Jack, because we are doing, and as I said, an OG video, which is our bold, wacky things of 2026. And our best and worst of 2025. So you know what? Without further ado, Jack, let's start it off. What was your best overall thing in wrestling in 2025, brother?
best overall thing in wrestling. Just one of my favorite things. Something that made me smile. Something that's good. Something I think everybody, for the most part, in the chat watching this can agree on. I believe it was also up there if you watched the Lucci Awards. And if you didn't, go back and watch them. Those are on YouTube, right? The video replays on YouTube. It's on Twitch. Go back and watch it. Run it back. I'm going to go with one of our moments of the year from that. We're going to go with Hangman winning the big one at AEW All in Texas. All-around happy moment. If you hated on that, you probably are just the sourpuss or a Fetty, as some in the wrestling friends, shout out Cooley, might call you. Hangman winning, I figure that's an all-around moment that I love, that most people who watch and love wrestling loved. Just a simple, feel-good, babyface wins the big one story at the biggest show of the year. So I'm going to go with Hangman winning it all as my best moment of 2025.
I actually like that one, and mine is kind of similarly tied to yours. I had a couple things in mind, the returns of some people to the ring, back to WWE, AJ Lee, as I said, Dolph Ziggler, Zack Ryder's, big returns of the moments themselves, But in the end, I felt like this was just too big to ignore and too big to pass up and too big not to celebrate at the end of the year. Truly, I think that the best part of 2025 for me was the emergence and the real significance of a quote unquote number 2 company in pro wrestling. Because you see the down year that WWE had, you see how trash it was, the booking, the prices, just everything, the politics, everything attached to WWE in 2025 was damn near garbage. But then if you look at it from the opposite side and you see the other company, AEW, they're like the complete opposite. They give you what you want. They give you your money's worth. They don't price you out. They don't, waste your time. Like I just went to a wrestling show with Jack, with our buddy P, who you just saw in the previous video, with a bunch of the wrestling friends that were just mentioned. And I mean, not only did we just pay less than $100 for our ticket, for a pay-per-view at that, but we got 9 matches on the main card. We got like 4 matches on the pre-show. Every match felt worth it. You're going to get your people here and there who, just like to be negative and all that. And they're going to say, well, what's the story? Well, that's too long of a pay-per-view. Truth be told, I would rather pay $50 and enjoy 9 matches and feel like I got my entire money's worth than pay $600, $700, $1,000, $2,000, $5,000 and get 5 matches. And in between those 5 matches, I get more time between the ads than I do the in-ring competition. That's not what I want. If I want that shit, I'd rather stay at home and put the shit on the TV and then I can do that shit from home. No, when we go to wrestling shows, we want to enjoy ourselves. We want to enjoy what's going on. frankly told, with AEW, you get that week in and week out. And the sooner that people get over this, like, little entry, it is brainwashing. You can really call it brainwashing because WWE had a chokehold on the audience for how many years. The sooner that people get over the fact that AEW is not so much of a little brother of a little company, but really is the top of the mountain in this professionally wrestling shit, the sooner that people realize that AEW really is worth watching and will get better within everything around wrestling. So truth be told, my best thing of 2025 was the emergence to the main, like, limelight of the mainstream media that is, like, that AEW received this year. That's my
Yeah,
thing.
I was gonna say, do AEW got a good deal with like HBO Max and
Exactly.
Warner
Yep.
this year? That show we went to too. I didn't buy anything personally. Lines are pretty long, but like great merch selection at the show as well. At least in Chicago. I don't know what they do for everywhere else, but they had some pretty cool looking stuff there. It makes me think of too when AEW has a year like this. The last one I really think about, it should. And I was saying this in the last video we filmed for predictions, right? It's like I hope WWE has a better year, right? There's a ton of wrestlers I like in WWE that I think are underutilized. I want to have two good wrestling programs to watch, right? And I think the last time we kind of saw this was 2022 was a really bad year for WWE from what I remember. Wasn't a good year. AEW was really hot, and I think it kind of pushed WWE to be better because WWE had a really good 2023.
Yeah.
Granted, there were some other circumstances that helped them, like the Triple H at the time, back when he knew how to book, being a fresh booker, right? But they had a great Mania in 23. I remember SummerSlam being decent, right? So I just remember them kind of stepping up their game, and then it kind of just it fell again, right? AEW had a really standout year this year. WWE had a really poor year, and you know what? I hope it does open their eyes. We've talked about the ESPN reports too. ESPN's not happy with that deal, right? You didn't hear it from me. I'm not the source, but you can look it up. It's out there, So like you have two options. You either keep being shitty and you make things worse, or you take it as a kick in the ass and you step up your game, and everybody wins, everybody eats, right? So we'll see, but it's definitely a positive. If you look at it as a negative, it's you're consuming it wrong. As Pete would say, get a new hobby, right? This pro wrestling name for you. So
No, yeah, but those are our favorite moments of 2025 or our best things of 2025 in the pro wrestling landscape. Man, shout out my dog Pete, man. Shout out Pete for the sub, bro. Much love, Pete. Much appreciated, brother. Appreciate the resub. Your 3-month resub, I believe it is. Yeah, 3 months. 3-month resub, Pete. I appreciate that, brother. Thank you again. Thank you. Sexy Jack says Benta Bobashi. Sexy Jack.
thank you,
Beast
Big Trey.
quote.
I'm not feeling too sexy right now. I think I gotta sneeze on camera again.
Well,
So
go
we're gonna
ahead,
turn this
get your
off.
moment. I'll read
Do
the
your thing,
comments.
Dom Lucha. Do
I was
your
gonna
thing.
say, go ahead, do your thing real quick. I'll talk to the chat while we do that. Glorious Peace said is a beast quote. Yeah, I set that up, bro. You're a baller. You're a baller. You just subbed for 3 months, brother. I appreciate the love. Appreciate the your support. No, yeah, your support more than anything. I appreciate your support with your help with the videos, but most now your help with your subscription and all that. So much appreciated. Right here. Jack should sell his sneeze residue. Whoa, we
Yo,
saved after hours.
who's buying?
We saved that
who's
for
buying
after
my
hours, brother. We saved that for after hours.
Who's buying my used tissues?
That was
any
Pete.
day?
That was Pete that said that.
Yeah.
That was Pete that said that. All right. Well, let's move on to the next thing, ladies and gentlemen. We just talked about our award or our best things of the year of 2025. Well, let's move over to the worst things of 2025. Jack, you started us off for the last one, so you know what? I'll start us off for this year or for this one here. For me, the worst thing of 2025, and mine is more personal than anything. So if it doesn't align with yours, don't cook me, don't do any of that. Just know it's personal to me. The worst thing to me in 2025 was the fact that NXT was just so damn buns, man. I felt like as an NXT guy, as an NXT truther, I had no leverage in defending them, bro. Everything they did was just garbage. And then that was before the TNA invasion shit happened, and that just kicked it up to like the worst of the worst, bro. So in 2025, for me, the worst thing has to be the way NXT was just brand and everything. So hopefully, they as an NXT fan, as an NXT day one, they reward me with better booking and better everything in 2026, bro. But that's my worst thing in 2025, bro. What's yours?
Hey, I'll be rooting for you. So it's like sports. Sometimes the farm system gets they call everybody up, right? The farm system gets wiped out for a bit. That happened. NXT was looking bright, I'd say, like more last year, 2024, from what I remember too. So a lot of talent got wiped. The men's side is looking a little weaker too, and that's you better hope. Like we need a future. You know, we're talking about the old heads in the last video, right? So here's to better things ahead for NXT. My worst thing, you know, you have your obvious stuff that we talked about in the Luchis. I won't pick it, but there's like the obvious worst stuff, like nobody wants to see fucking Brock Lesnar back, right? For a multitude of real life and kayfabe wrestling reasons. So there's like stuff like that. But just for me, like one of the like the shitty things I remember, man, is it's the way they handled the John Cena retirement tour. You know, I think that was an opportunity to bring one disrespecting a legend like that, right? Simple as that. At least they gave him a nice send off. I liked how Saturday Night's main event went down with him and Gunther. I liked the video package and everything. He had some good matches sprinkled in there. The AJ one sticks out to me, the AJ Styles one. But overall, the way they handled that and everything, disrespectful to him. But then just as like your company too, right? You have such a good chance to bring back some like lapsed fans, people who are tuning in. I think they tune in and they see it and they're like, this is what it is. You know, he's doing goofy heel angles with Travis Scott and Logan Paul, right? Like, who are these guys? It's kind of just like not what you were expecting. Yeah, they tried to have him run it back with some of the other OGs like Punk and Orton and stuff. It didn't really work out. I didn't find either of those matches to really live up to expectations. So the Cena retirement tour, man, just disappointing all around. That was one of my guys growing up. Still is one of my guys. You know, I was emotional to watch him retire. Sad that he's gone. Wish we could have gotten a better last year. And I'm not going to say from him because I don't think it's all his fault. Could he have stood up for himself more, maybe, and booked it his own way? Probably. I mean, if he booked that Saturday Night's main event show, his pen is better than Triple H's pen. So.
No, that's a fantastic show, bro, and I agree with you. That thing was booty, bro. Like the fact that the person that he wrestled the most in his entire tour was like Logan Paul. Like, come on,
R-Truth,
bro.
yeah.
Like
Multiple matches with Logan Paul and R-Truth.
There's both ends. Like, okay, you know you're not gonna get the matches with Edge, Adam Copeland, because obviously there's like hurdles that you got to get through. Like the man is literally signed to another company, so everybody that thought they were gonna get
forgetting that too while that was going on.
right.
By the way.
So like that part, I understand. Okay, cool. I'm not expecting them to fucking pull off a miracle and get Adam Copeland, especially with the way that they've been acting towards AEW and everything. That would make no sense. But I'm getting matches with Logan Paul. I'm getting matches with Ron Killings, bro. That's goofy shit. I'm getting like come on, bro. It's just not worth it to me, dog. Like we got the Cody match at Mania. Booty stinker. They redeemed themselves at SummerSlam. Cool. We allow that. But then it's just like they had no fucking plan, bro. Like I didn't need to see Punk or not Punk. I didn't need to see Jey Uso and John Cena team up to, or Jey Uso and Cody team up to face Logan and Cena. What the fuck? Like, no, I'm cool on that, bro. Like, you saw the way that people were so invested and tuned into the final match and how everything went, and then not only that, but like the youth movement that led up to that match with the Leon Slater, Javon versus AJ Styles and Dragon Lee, or Soruka, Bailey, Obafemi, Cody. But like, we didn't get none of that leading up to that, bro. They relied on the moment to be the thing to carry them to the end. But once that moment fizzled out a week later, they were screwed. It was literally screwed because, and I told you guys this, and literally when it happened, the dude was sounding like a damn Disney character, a villain. That was garbage, bro. It was garbage. So I said it then. I agree with you now. The worst thing was the John Cena retirement tour, bro, without a doubt. Moving on, our next thing is our fun thing here. It's we did some predictions in our last video. You may have seen it. We did some, but you know what we said? Let's take it up a notch. Let's think more a little bit outside the box here. But hold on to that, Jack, because before we get to these bold predictions, I have a few, or actually have one more thing to ask you. Because in 2025, we voted on our breakout star of the year. We voted on our wrestler of the year. We voted on all of that, right? But I want to know in 2026, Jack, who is one name that till this point we haven't really mentioned on air or anything that you think is gonna have a great year? Maybe not like reach main event, maybe not reach world title success and all that, but is gonna have a great year and take, another step in their career. Who's somebody to look out for? And the
Yeah, I
Jack
feel like
radar.
we
In the Jack radar.
yeah, I feel like we threw around a lot of big time obvious names over in AEW. A lot of the same names for WWE coming up. That current the people on Saturday night's main event, right? A lot of Obafemi, a lot of Silruka, a lot of Javon. Just like on a Jack radar, like who do I think could have a good year? Isn't talked about as much or enough. I'll go with one, and I hope it's true. It's not even necessarily that she has had a bad time. I just think she has been swimming in the wrong pond for a bit, and she's ready to be. And she's a vet of the game, right? This ain't somebody necessarily young or new. I'm gonna go with Athena over in AEW, right? They've been using her to carry Ring of Honor for quite a while. That's fine. We just saw her on the pay per view teaming with Mercedes. She is very good. She was very good as Ember Moon, in my opinion, back in NXT as well, like 10 years ago at this point almost. So she can still go. I don't know her exact age or anything or what she's got left in the tank, but my eye test says she's all good, good to go. That's another big name, big main event player in your women's division, which might tie into something I'll bring up later in my predictions. But I can see Athena having a bigger year if they push her more on the main AEW stage. Throw her right in there with those top names, your Mercedes, your Tony Storms, the AEW women's roster. I appreciate and respect what they have her doing down in Ring of Honor, but I say it's time to. I don't even want to say call her up because that's not how it works, right? She is called up, but you get what I'm saying, right? Have her more presented on Dynamite. Have her in the AEW women's title picture, right? Have her doing stuff like that. Because I forgot how much I enjoy like watching Athena lately when she's been more present on Dynamite. Like Ember Moon was up there for me, man. Like if we were doing videos back in high school and stuff, like in NXT, like oh man, I loved Ember Moon, dude. And I just feel like she's kind of been lost in the shuffle in Ring of Honor, which is fine for a bit, but I want to see bigger things for her in 2025.
I like that. Ember Moon, that or Athena, that's a name I wasn't
Yeah,
really
not Ember
thinking
Moon
of.
anymore. You don't
Yeah,
want to
you got
scare
me
people
thinking
in the
now. You got me
comments. Yeah, you
thinking.
don't want to scare the chat. You don't want to scare the chat. But
Somebody or the person who I ended up going with for this one, bro. 2024. I thought they had a great year, or at least a great first half of the year. Maybe not questionable second half, but then 2025, man. I just felt like it was. I use this term a lot, but stinky caca poo poo, bro. It was just. It wasn't good. It wasn't. They didn't really do much. They didn't make much noise. But I think in 2026 we maybe see a little bit of revival of El Wepa, Mr. Wepa, El Campeón, former Campeón, Damian Priest, man. I think Damian Priest hopefully is in line for a better 2026. I think he's somebody who the WWE universe is very obviously they're familiar with him. He's a known face. He's somebody that's established within their eyes. Um it's just the booking. Really, the booking, bro. He's been going on with Aleister Black for God knows how long. I think since the Obama administration, but it just hasn't ended, and they're still going at it. Um, and then before that, I couldn't even tell you what he was doing before that, bro. To be honest with you, like that's just hasn't been a good year for Damian Priest. So I hope next year he has a better year. I hope he's rested. I hope he's healthy because I hope to see better for him in 2026. Let's move on, Jack. Let's move on to the ending part of this video, our predictions part, our bold, wacky, fun predictions that we can come up with here. I told you to come up with 5, if possible, 3 for sure. So we'll just go about it. We'll see how we do about it, but for sure we'll do 3, maybe with more. We'll see how time goes. But let's start it off, Jack. What's your first bold, wacky, however you want to call it, your first prediction?
yeah, I'll start off with one of the more outlandish ones I have. We'll go over to AEW, and this was brought up. I gave a little teaser of this earlier, right? Pete's. I forgot what we were talking about. Pete made some comment, and I was like, "Well, I was like everybody." Oh, he said you think Takesha's still going to be heel by this time next year. I said maybe. I think we all thought the Death Riders were going to break up the other night, or a time before that, right? So I do think that Death Riders break up or turn or tension happens. That's not the bold prediction because I know it's not bold, but I think right now all eyes are on Claudio Castagnoli. My little wacky twist here, my bold prediction here is that it's not going to be him. It's going to be somebody else. It's going to be, and he's not everyone's favorite, but I know he has his fans, and he is solid in the ring, I think. I just think there's some work to do elsewhere. I'm going to go with Wheeler Yuta. Wheeler Yuta is going to spark that. I don't know if that's going to be him, if that would make him a face, or if that is him turning heel on just John Moxley, or if he parts from the group, or if he causes tension within the group, right? We'll leave it open-ended for you to decide or for you to see. But I do think Wheeler Yuta is going to be the one to spark this Death Riders either breakup or this turn away from them for his own path.
Oh, okay. So you're
Can
going
we
with
see him as a leader? I don't know, right?
yeah,
That'd be a big
right.
character step for him. And he's never been in a leadership role in his damn life.
That's a good
Come on
one
now.
though. Going with Wheeler
Yeah.
Yuta, the
Well, Utes.
surprising one to take over the Death Rider leadership role. Okay. Well, for me, I'm sticking with AEW, and I did mention this as in the previous video, the predictions video for 2026. So go check it out if you haven't yet. Go check it out right here. Um, but I'm going with Bailey and Drew McIntyre appear in some form on AEW TV by the end of 2026. You know, I mentioned it in the predictions video. As I said, Bailey, her contract's coming up. WWE has done nothing with her. What better thing to do than to join up with Mercedes? You see what Mercedes done since her arrival in AEW. You know, Bailey has had a storied career, and I think even though she has, the last few years have been definitely underwhelming for her. Even though she did reach some sort of success, it still didn't feel like it was all really booked like it should have been. So I think she jumps ship. She goes over to AEW when her contract expires. And if you didn't watch the last video, I did say Drew McIntyre is jumping over to AEW after we get a power struggle between Triple H and Dwayne The Rock Johnson, which will just put WWE in all kinds of chaos and everything. And Drew McIntyre is going to say enough is enough. And he's going to request his release, and he's going to jump over to AEW as well. Those are my predictions. Jack, what's your next one, bro?
Yeah, I like it. I like it. I had Bailey to AEW in my little pool as well, but we got a few to pick from. I'll jump over to WWE here. And this is kind of double dipping into something I said last year, but again, I'm going to leave it a little more open because it could be both. I don't think they do both. I don't think they have the balls to do both right now, nor do I think they have the leeway to do both of these. But I think we will see either Cody Rhodes or CM Punk, one of the two Golden Goose babyface champions right now, turn heel in 2026. I think it's time for one of them. Personally, I'll say I would like for it to be CM Punk. I think he is very interesting as a heel, as we've seen in the past. I also think his WWE run here, just in terms of what he's doing, unless he's like, what I'm seeing at least is like, unless he's really motivated or into it, he's been doing the phone it in thing kind of a lot. Like, I know my demons still got it. You know, I'm not worried, but I would like to see him turn it up a bit. I also think, too, if you turn him heel, you can finally just unlock a whole new kind of crop of people for him to feud with, because he has been a babyface since he returned, and he has pretty much just been feuding with heels. And honestly, he's really just been feuding with Drew McIntyre and Seth Rollins. He had a one-off with Gunther. I think he's had a couple other one-offs in there, like Cena, but deadass, if you look at it, the last like 2+ years, he is a little injured for a while too, but even when he was injured, he was just feuding with Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre, or feuding with The Vision, right? So I think if you turn him heel and get him off of whatever brand they're on, if the brand split even still matters, that a whole new group of people for him to fight opens up. And the flip side too, I think Cody could be a little more interesting as a heel as well. But I know that he is their like number one Golden Goose Make-A-Wish merch mover, so I understand. Look how long it took them to turn Cena heel, right? So
Okay. So you think somebody's turning heel, whether it be Cody versus it be Punk, more likely Punk, you think? But okay, I like that one. I like that one. For my next one, oof. Oh, I think, and I did my research. I did my contract research and everything. This person's not an in-ring talent. No, this person's behind the scenes. I think in 2026, Mr. Nick Khan will end up leaving the WWE. Whether
fair.
that means he's removed because, the whole lawsuit, everything, whether there's findings, whatever, whether he's just removed straight out, whether he just lets his contract expire and he just doesn't want no business with it no more. Who knows? But I think Nick Khan will leave the WWE in 2026. Whether that's a good thing or not, I'll let you be the judge of that yourselves. Maybe the ticket prices go back down. Maybe it's affordable. Maybe the content gets better. Maybe we go back to how WWE was beforehand. Who freaking knows? But I think Nick Khan will leave WWE by the end of this year.
It's
Jack.
not bad. There could be a lot of shakeup.
Yeah, exactly. There could be a lot of shakeup at all. By the end of the year, like who knows, bro? We don't know what's gonna happen at all. But Jack, let us know what your final wacky, bold, crazy, out there
Yeah,
prediction
yeah.
is.
Yeah, you want wacky and bold? I got one for you to close it out, right? And I did my research too. Again, sources could be off. This is a quick Google search, right? Bypassing the AI feature, making sure there's some legitimate articles on this. Sorry, Mac. But this contract is allegedly coming up. I don't know what the re-sign deals are, but it's something I've been poking at for a while, right? Shat might get scared, but there's nothing to be scared of, fellas. Let's say it in 2026, we will see a long time WWE lifer finally make that jump. Maybe he's a little tired of being disrespected. Maybe he wants to go to greener pastures and do new things. 2026, Mike Mizanin is all elite. We're going to see the Miz in AEW, and AEW is going to be awesome.
I love that one, Jack. What a way to end your predictions there. Mike the Miz Mizanin to all elite wrestling. Jack, real quick, I don't even need a description. I don't need nothing. I just need one name. The Miz signs to AEW right before Double or Nothing. If you're Tony Khan, who is the first person you're matching up The Miz with?
Oh, oh man, there's so many options to choose from. What a stacked roster they have over there. You know what? Perfect first opponent for the Miz would be. Oh, I don't know. Does chat want to help me out? Is anybody still in chat rumbling around on there? They got any suggestions
I
in
don't think
chat?
they're happy about this one, but I don't think you're gonna get help with the Miz.
Damn. You know what then? We'll throw him to the wolves right away. You know what? Give me Miz versus Kenny Omega. See if Kenny Omega can hang with the Miz.
Kenny Omega versus the Miz is Jack's AEW dream match. I
Heard it
love
here
it.
first.
I love it, Jack. Well, those are Jack's three predictions. Now let me give you mine. Let me end it here with what I think is the most significant prediction of them all that I could see happen out of all of them, but who really knows at the end of the day, honestly, which is who truly knows what's gonna happen. But Jack, truly what I think is gonna happen, bro, is that in 2026, by the end of the year, in some format, in some way, either ESPN or Netflix will begin the proceedings to ending their media rights deal with the WWE. I don't know how. I don't know how that works. I don't know any of that. But truth be told, as a fan, it wasn't good. I know they're not happy. They paid a shit ton of money. So I think they're going to want to somehow, some way save some of that money. So I just think that one of those things is going to start to finish by the end of the year. Which one of the two? I'll let you decide which one of the two you think is more likely. But I think either ESPN or WWE or
I'm gonna go with
Netflix,
ESPN. I
we're
had
gonna
that in
end it.
mind as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I just think it's bound to happen, bro. Either maybe next year, but soon before the actual deal expires. I just don't see it all the way through. It's just a lot of money, not a good deal for them, at least at this point. So that's my prediction. But that does it, ladies and gentlemen. Those are our predictions. Those are our best things, our worst things, who to look out for in 2020. Basically, just our year rewind, but also to what we're looking forward to in 2026. That was my boy Jack. Thank you, Jack, once again for being a part of this, brother. Thank you.
Yes,
Like
sir.
I told you guys at Lucha 10 when he won the title, my guy's private, so he doesn't want you flooding his DMs unless you're trying to get a little active with my boy Jack, then of course slide in with my boy Jack. But if not, then don't
It'd be
bother
scary.
him.
I don't know.
Don't bother him. Don't do none of that. But appreciate you, Jack, for being a part of this, brother. We will see you next week for Lucha Mania. Thank you for being in here, brother. Best of blessings your way in 2026. We'll see you a lot in 2026. Anything you got for the people?
Yeah, I was gonna say we're heading out. Pete gave a little end of the year thing. Happy New Year to everybody. 2026. Hopefully, it's a good year. Not. I know we're always talking wrestling, but I hope it's a good year for all your personal lives too. I hope it's a good year if you're interested in other things, right? If you like sports, I hope your sports teams do well. If you're interested in movies, there's big talks about theaters right now, right? I hope theaters stay relevant. I hope your favorite music artists win Grammys, drop bangers. I hope your other interests prosper, your regular life prospers, healthy, right? I'm just getting over being sick. Let's have a good start to the new year. Everybody in the chat, Benta Babashi, Stunners and Stoners, mid card, right? Hope all those guys have a good year as well. Just have a strong start to 2026 here. And of course, I hope the Don Lucha channel could be the strongest start to a year yet. We'll see. Lucha Mania coming in hot, and you got exactly who you want to be as the face of the brand. The champ is right here. So I got you.
Love that, Jack. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Appreciate that. Appreciate the words there. Ladies and gentlemen, that does it for today's video. That does it for our prediction. That does it for 2025 on the Don Lucha channel. We're going to go ahead and get this out to you guys before the year ends. But that does it, man. Thank you for a great year. Thank you for supporting us for this year in 2025. We're looking for bigger and better in 2026, man. More love, more support, more fun, more enjoying games, more all of that, man. But most importantly, I just want to spend this time with y'all. I enjoy doing this with y'all, so I hope you guys continue on this ride for a bigger and better 2026, not just in this streaming shit, but in every facet of life, man. More blessing, more health, more love, more everything to you guys. I appreciate you guys. Much love. I'll see y'all in 2026. Lucha Mania coming in hot, baby. See y'all next time. Peace out.